Joyride, 1957, a novel of intrigue by J.P. Wasmiller, Chapter 103. Back in the Olympic Hotel in Seattle, James stripped to his white undershorts and took a long sip of Coca-Cola. And he started to sort through this mess of maps and notes. What he was now so thankful for was that his memory had returned completely. Oh, he had the occasional headache, but he was so happy he could remember his past. He had sorted through his long ordeal of the past month and had come to the conclusion, based on the ruins, the Mandan Indians with white skin, and his further research in Canada, that the party of explorers that came to Hudson's Bay had gotten much farther west than Alexandria, Minnesota. In fact, he now believed that these explorers had gotten all the way to the west coast. Why the stones did not tell the full story, James was not sure. Maybe they were trying to cover up some information that might endanger them. Maybe some of the information was on the Verendrye stone, a stone James tried to find in France. But James' goal now was to find out where on the west coast the explorers reached the Pacific. His Canadian research and exploration had further confirmed that theory. He realized it was just that, a theory, but he also realized that others were beginning to warm to his theory. After all, his agents from all over the world were following him, though he knew of none on his trail right now. He believed his abrupt trip out of Canada to the south and Seattle, Washington, had left them all high and dry. He had not seen any of them since he left Kamloops, British Columbia. He welcomed what he believed was his newfound freedom. What James also didn't know was that he was dead. Let's see, the line extending from the Newport Tower to Alexandria intersects the U.S.-Canadian border at the intersection of the Alberta and British Columbia border, James said aloud. He had a large map in front of him. Then, extending that line west, it goes through Kelowna, British Columbia, and on through Merritt and Lytton, the site of the Canadian Gold Rush. Then the line goes on to the west coast and Penrose Island. It then goes into the Pacific Ocean to Rose Harbor on Kunjut Island, and then to Perryville in the Aleutians, and then on into Russia. I just don't know. A few roses keep popping up, but not everything. I just don't know. Well, let's look at the maps again. I think I'll stick with the flat projections. I know the more accurate maps would be with curve projections. But the Vikings and Vinlanders and the Scots all came here before Columbus in 1492. Columbus, finding the world was round, turned everything upside down, but my ancestor Mercator did not devise the curve projection on maps until 1569, over 70 years after Columbus discovered America. I know the earth curves 8 inches per mile, but all those early explorers believed the earth flat and made maps on that basis. So I'll stick with the flat projections.